hitting hard? Your body knows the truth. Unlock its wisdom now for healing breakthroughs in this spiritual journey. Greetings, all my fellow soul seekers. This is an amazing addition to what we've already been going through under the whole spiritual healing and wellness series that we're working ourselves through, progressing. And this was an interesting one this week for me. Last time I saw that we were scheduled to talk about the body, but we'd already talked about the body in the previous episodes, and I thought, moving on. Whoa, we're going back. We're doing body again. And this time, what we're looking at is based on what I was experiencing personally. And I'm thinking you either will or have already been dealing with this. You may presently be doing something along this line, but however you find yourself, wherever you're at, I would hope and pray you will give this a moment to ask yourself to stop and ask your entire being, and that includes your body. That's beyond the soul, beyond the emotions, beyond the whatever it is, the spiritual side of things, going back into a physical experience of what is this body telling you. And I hadn't quite appreciated that back in the prior weeks. Not like I do now. It's been quite interesting. Just a little background. I am going through a very intense, I'm going to call it a crisis. There's a part of me that doesn't want to acknowledge that. A part of me that's in denial. I can see that now, that I want to make sure that you're okay, that everyone around me is okay, and that it's not really about me. It's not really, I'm not as important as you are, and you, and you, and you. I'm seeing this playing out in a very remarkable way. And for me, it's grieving. And you, it may be some other emotion that you can name, or you may be asking yourself, well, what is this that I'm feeling? For me, it came on really strong as a kind of that static that you get on watching TV or listening to a radio station, where it's not quite dialed in and it's giving you that staticky resistance because you're not aligned perfectly on the station channel that is coming in to you. And I was really dealing with that this week. It was an important day to my way of thinking and how the past had always been, but what the present currently is. And what does that mean for the future? Because things change and there's a resistance in me. I don't want it to change. I want it to be what it's always been. And that is not the way life is it? And that is very emotionally, stridently difficult. And so again, my mojo has always been, well, you just stuff it down, you just make other people more important. And it came to hit pretty hard for me right now, as I had to face something this week that was uncomfortable, to say the least. Anyway, we're going back into the body, as I said, because I hadn't quite seen the body, my body, your relationship with your own body. Think about that as I relate how it's impacting me. My body as an oracle, a truth teller that cuts way beyond the conscious, subconscious, and past, present, future. It is telling me, yeah, you can say what you want, you can deny what you want, but the truth and the reality is blank. And you might see that in your own life or in your own loved ones where they just say, I can't take it anymore. I need this. And they are more able to verbalize what it is. Sometimes we act out, and that's when I see how our bodies will often act out. In my case, it was intense pain that I thought was an illness of some sort. And in a way, it probably was, but what I actually saw and felt was very different once I got a chance to cry a bit and then to laugh. And laughing was really, really curing something deep within. It caused an easing, a releasing that made me go, oh, this isn't an illness that I'm normally used to, like a virus or what all. It was actually me experiencing an emotional depth that I was not able to see, but my body can feel it. And when my body feels it, it is reporting back. Hello, here we are. We're dealing with something, and we would like you to be aware and acknowledge it and release it and find a new way of going forward. But we can't go forward with the rest of you ready to just call it whatever you need to call it. I need to be brought along with you. I am carrying you all along on this path, this soul path, and I need help. So there's our interesting question when it comes to spiritual healing and wellness. In this case, I'm going to call it the body in grief. So let's take a look at you, your body, what it's telling you. I'm going to be going forward with my body talking to me about grief because, like I said, I have a tendency to want to make it all okay when actually I'm suffering. As we've always gone with the Millennium Thoth deck, I'm going to use that. I'm also going to roll some dice and see where we may land on this beautiful Soul Life Treasure Hunt board. I'm finding it always to bring some kind of wisdom for me and a pathway that helps me to see what is better and to plan for where I want my trajectories to go. Sometimes it'll show me where the trajectory I'm in is maybe not what I would really prefer. And so there's the power of finding an intuitive tool, whether this is the tool for you or whether this is your pathway or you just want to enjoy the entertainment that this can be as you take a look at what I look at as well. But either way, knowing how you are dealing with whatever is coming up, and in this case our bodies, let's take a look. Isn't it interesting? I went blue and green today instead of the normal purple, which is very spiritual. This one is blue, which is, I see it kind of that third eye seeing of indigo, and then also the green, which is the heart and the emotional. So this is really interesting too. So, oh, I know what I forgot to do. I picked a different, this is going to be in the relationship realm. I picked this purple one, this crystal. Very interesting. I love this crystal. I don't know. I just picked, like I said, I'm in this body period of, there's a crisis happening in my life. And whether you're experiencing one or not, it's fascinating to take a look at this and ask yourself, well, what does that mean in my reality? So what would a violet crystal be wanting to guide you toward today? That's how I would look at that one. And then we're going to look at the relationship realm, and we're going to take a look at 5 and 2 and 5. We're going to take a look at associates and groups. Perfect. Oh my gosh, high heart. This is way up in this, I'm going to call it like in the thymus area, where if you gently tap that right there, the high heart, you're going to feel it's okay. I am okay. So that's beautiful. So it's interesting to see that it is in the flow, and it's flowing over into a future strength that we're going to be looking at. We've got the pink chakra stones, so any kind of rose quartz, pink chakra, which is a heart emotional healing color that may bring you up out of what you've been healing in your main heart, but bringing you up into something that is more unconditionally loving and more patient, even more kind than ever. So I'm thinking being super gentle with ourselves this week is huge, more huge than any other week that we might be focused on. And I'm going to just say that, but you know what you need each week, and every time you come to this message, you may be brought back to it, where and again, it's time to be even more gentle, quiet, still, listen to your body kind of time, where you're going to be allowing others, associates and groups, to help you. And that is speaking to me. Oh, mercy, this is speaking to me right now. I have various groups that I tap into and touch base with. And for me, it's more about, how can I serve? A lot of times I feel very like a lone wolf, like I do a lot of giving, but where do I see any reciprocal love back or caring back? Well, this week I have. And lately I have. But this one was pinpointed, kind of rubbing my nose in it to say, look at the beautiful souls around you. We're not talking about the narcissists in your life that you've had to deal with in the past. You had to make sure they were okay and in good condition so you could feel in alignment and able to just get on with life and be more stable. But that is not being in your own alignment, and that would just be denying yourself, stuffing things down, giving other people more power over your life, because your responsibility is to make sure everybody else is okay. Because if they're okay, then you can be okay. See how it gets really complicated? And are you in that zone at all? Are you trying to appease other people and holding yourself back, your own needs, and not willing to say that you're in crisis? I know that was hard for me. It's been hard for me. This is hard for me. And I hope you can likewise say, what is very hard for me? And associates and groups, the good ones, the ones that are willing to take a look at you and see something that maybe you're not seeing. And I'm so grateful for each and every member of the groups and associates around me, because my tendency is to go, yeah, it's not that bad. I'm fine. It'll be okay. I'll just get through this. You got the whole fill in the blanks. And every so often it is, no, I gotta stop. I have to acknowledge this is painful. And that's when my body this week went into full to the point of vertigo, because I was feeling very dizzy. It's been dizzying to try to keep everything going when things have fallen apart so bad. This is, as you can tell, quite the experience. And there's a part of me that's able to smile through it, going, yeah. And there's the other part of me, the tears are just flowing all around it. So what is What has or what is or what could ever cause you to have to take a look more closely at your body? Because I'm going to tell you, start now. Even if it doesn't hurt right now, start looking right now. So we're talking about asking about this associates and groups. What's at the heart of the matter for each of us? I got a zing right there to stop shuffling. So what are we trying to say about associates and groups? The art, mixing together that recipe of who we are, the strength, the observation of it, the whole resources around us, how it comes together. And that's been fun too, because I have been able to accept more guidance with people saying, try this. Oh, I've tried that before. And I had forgotten all about that as an option for my ability to create a little more calm and a little more peace and the ability to sit more still and listen to what is going on with my body. What is the next ingredient? What do I need? And I'm going to tell you, I have a support team of professionals as well as my own intuition and my lovely groups around me, all the associates that really love and care about not only just themselves, but everyone else in the groups. And just like me, I feel like the same way about them, but I could never quite accept that somehow. And that's more than likely just on me. And I can accept that. And I'm going to share that with you because where are you at? Do you accept the love that is around you? The genuine love, the genuine care. When someone offers you a gift, are you feeling responsible to give a gift back? Could be as easy as being accepting of a compliment. You look beautiful today. You look beautiful today. Does that make you feel like, what are you talking about? What do you mean? What do you need from me? Could be that that's a sign that you're stuck in a similar situation I've been stuck in. And can you just accept? I look beautiful today. I'm happy. Or I'm sad. Or I'm in crisis. But I have beautiful people around me. And I am going to allow myself to cry. I'm going to allow myself to bring in ideas and things that will help me, their processes, their ability, their insights, and find the mix that makes sense for me because I'm going to listen to my body. What is the influence that we're seeing? The work we do. Three of Pentacles, the action and the Capricorn, the getting deep into the earthly wisdom of what it takes to be spiritual and practical. The body is very earthy and really very practical. It wants what it needs, and it will express that in my case, pain. And so I'm going to tell you, find your professional teams to support you if you're dealing in a similar situation where you have some kind of pain. What is that pain really all about? Maybe it's just pain, but maybe there is motion with it, something spiritual, something out of alignment. It's stressing, it's staticky, it's not ease, it's not flow. And life will give us that always. And that's when you got to have the wisdom to know, I need, and you're going to have to fill in that blank. So I'm going to really make a big point of finding your professional, medical, psychological teammates and find them and research what they're talking about and offering. They're not going to have all the answers probably, but they will definitely have important answers that you need, and go there as your intuition and guidance leads you through quite the journey. Remember, it's a soul journey, and your soul is part of the body. It's encased in the body. The body is taking your soul spirit along on this path. You can't leave it behind you. You got to keep it with you. And sometimes we get so far ahead of the physical, and we're so excited about all the spiritual and the soul level things. We need to also remember we have to take it a little slower and work things through the way they need to work out properly. I love it. All right, let's go into balancing. What is being asked of us to balance? Why are we getting all this static? Queen of Pentacles, that ability to really reflect, what does it all mean? What does it mean? What did it mean? And you have your ego, as well as this whole world view that understands the spiritual wealth that comes to you by being in this body, having a spirit and a spiritual experience all in one together. It's all got to work together. You've got to mix it properly. And how are you going to do that? Let's talk about what's conscious in the peace arena. What can give you a sense of peace in the midst of some real staticky, crazy chaos going on in your life? And that is the Prince of Cups. Where are you going? You're on a mission. What is the mission right now? If this prince could be bringing you a gift, what would the gift be? It might be medicinal. It might be emotional. It might be spiritual. But it might be, and that's where you're on this mission. And that's why it's so important to ask all of your professional teams, the ones that are here for the medicine side of things, the psychological side of things, and your emotional support teams. Reach out in the comments if you've got questions about that one. Find the right support teams that are addressing the issue of the whole you right now. And in my case this week, it was physical. So I was looking for physical solutions, which is great. I need physical solutions. But I also, once I recognized the power of, in this case, laughter, and it is something, and I've heard that about cancer. Certain people have talked about healing themselves from cancer. This is not my situation personally. But that was interesting for me, and my mind keeps going back to that. One of the podcasts that I was listening to, the gal was saying that she could not handle anything other than comedies. So she would always sit with her husband and they would watch nothing but comedies, nothing about current events, nothing about that was at all dramatic or stressful to her system at all. She was on a healing journey, and laughter was one part of her whole thing. 'Cause, she was working with doctors and probably psychologists or whatever. Anyway, it was wise. And when I saw that power come through and ease my body just enough that it was like, I'm in grief. I had not realized I am in an intense era of grief right now. And there we are. So what has brought this to us? Remember, we're talking associates and groups and their wisdom. So associates and groups can be your medical team, can be the loving support of others around you, the groups you associate with, and the loved ones around you, friends, family. You got it. It's all around you. And that is Prince of Wands. That's that ability to be the strong one and what you want to experience. So what I wanted, what do you want? has brought us to the point where we need to figure out what mixture we need now, how we're going to work through it, the actions we're going to take, and really look at our Capricorn, our body, the ties we have to this earth, which is our body, being part of this earthly manifestation, and being able to ultimately reflect, what does all this mean? What's our outcome looking toward as we see this? Ten of Swords, balancing the whole feeling at times of betrayal and how it all can work out. 10 is huge for up leveling ourselves as we are dealing with the brokenness, the two ways of looking, that Gemini, that way of looking at life in a couple of perspectives. We can look at it this way or that way. I'm going to put this right here. I'm going to point this out to you as we look at Gemini. Gemini has two minds. There's one way of looking at things, another way of looking at things, and somehow, I don't know how many Geminis you have in your life, but I've got one, and watching them balance the duality of their sign, their zodiac sign, is fascinating. And it really teaches me a lot about how to take the duality of life and see it more in a balanced way. But this broken sword and how it has pierced the heart in a way that feels like a betrayal of all that I had wanted and wanted to go toward, how I felt aligned and what I'm balancing out. It all kind of gets jig-jagged, right? Chaotic. But inside myself, the crowning glory of what it really can truly teach me about whatever season and cycle I happen to be in, which right now is a very difficult one for me, but it probably is for you as well. And how that is going to really bring in this current purpose of what it all means together. So bringing that together in amazing ways of what we can look at ultimately for ourselves. This is a great reading right here. You've got all the cards right here that can really show you what the alignment can look for, remembering you are on purpose. Somehow you're on a mission, and that mission is going to be utilizing how you mix what is and work it through to be able to see it, what you intended, what you're going to be able to deal with in the future, because it doesn't all come as a Pollyanna. Everything's fine. Everything's great. Nothing's wrong. My life is pleasant in every way. I don't know how many of us actually have that kind of a life. I think sometimes of the poor little rich girl. She got everything, but maybe not all the things that her heart and soul really, really want. And that's why being able to sit with ourselves and still see our brokenness, knowing that we are still whole, that there's still all this greatness around us, that all things point to us being balanced and strong. All right. So, as you know, if you've followed me for a while, and for those who've never met me, I'm Carrie Farmer, and I am the keeper of the Soul Life Treasure Hunt. I have prayed for this system, and it was quite an experience to see this come into my life and be drawn to it. I use this system all the time, especially in times like this where I'm in a question point or a crisis point, and I need guidance. How do I stay aligned? How do I flow with this? And I will be dealing with, in the membership, details below, even more, because we talked about purpose and inner child, inner kingdom, the ultimate crowning glory, what we can see as an ultimate outcome overall, and a heavenly connection, as we are also evaluating what this current season and cycle is all about and what purpose that is providing for us, so we can see it all line up. It all pulls together. It's been a beautiful experience. I really invite you to take a chance on expanding these readings in a way that becomes far more meaningful. But in the meantime, let us know what you're thinking, what you're seeing, how it has maybe worked out for you ultimately in a previous crises, and maybe you're already in a crisis. Maybe you just like going, I know crises come and go. So how would I deal with this? How do I listen to my body and find the right alchemy for being able to be better prepared for another round? Because 10 is just means it's going to go up the spiral case. You'll see the next beginning, the next working out of everything, and then you'll probably see another moment when what you are experiencing was so unexpected, but it's so valuable in ultimately helping you find your peace, be able to balance what you're really seeing, and dial in that staticky place between what was and what is, and make it more clear to be able to listen to your own body, because your body is also aligning with your spiritual side as well. So helping your sweet body to feel loved, to feel aligned, and that everything's okay. It will be okay. It's not something it has to suffer through. Let it come forward and speak to you in the ways it needs to be heard. All right. I love you all. Take good care. Thanks for being a part of this reading. And till next time, take care.